Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog.stampwithelaine.com and welcome to today's project. My upline sent me some materials to make up samples for a display at her July team training day. And these were the papers called Petal Promenade. I'm not really a very flowery person, so it was something of a challenge. Thankfully, on the reverse side, these are more plain. If you don't like the floral side, you can switch to the plainer side. We're making a lantern card today, and this is what it looks like on the side. It's deceptively simple. It uses up about half a sheet of DSP, so 12 by 6 piece. Made all these panels. We're using a sheet of A4 on the long side on my scoring board and score it at 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. In metric that will be 5 centimeters, 10.2, 15.2, 20.3 and 25.4 centimeters. Now bring in my trimmer, and then I need to cut it into 4 2-inch strips. And you'll just have a little piece left over, which you don't need. We'll set that aside for the moment. Then you need a piece 6 1/4 by 6 1/4, also in Grapefruit Grove. Then I've taken the two smaller circles, so the smallest and the next to smallest, and cut 2 Grapefruit Grove stitch frame circles, and one in lovely lipstick. I also cut one in just flimsy scrap paper so I could fold it into quarters and find the true centre. Place that on top of the circle, put that on top, and used a pokey tool to poke the centre, then followed up with a 1/8 inch handheld circle punch and punched the hole in the centre. 2 strips in Grapefruit Grove, cut at 7/8 inch by 5 inches. That's 2.2 centimeters by approximately 12.5 centimeters. 20 contrasting colours for the matte layer, and that's been cut at 1 3/4 inches by 1 3/4 inches square. In metric, that will be 4.4 by 4.4 centimeters. With the white, cut at 1 1/2 inch square. That's 3.8 by 3.8 centimeters squared. 16 pieces of DSP, cut at 1 1/2 inches by 1 1/2 inches. I deliberately put clips on that because I wanted my flowers to match up, so that they all match up as you look at it down the line. So you need 16 of those. Piece of Petal Promenade cut at 6 by 6 inches. Now we've covered the cardstock that you need, let's look at the stamps. I'm using the Treat Time Clear Mount stamp set. It does have coordinating dies called the Petite Treat Framelit dies. If you purchase both together, it will save you 10%. But for today's project, we're only using the Treat Time stamp set, not the dies. The inks I'm using are Grapefruit Grove and Lovely Lipstick. Polka dot tulle ribbon. And now we're ready to assemble our lantern. One of them isn't actually square. That is going to go on the bottom to attach to the bottom of your cardstock. But before we burnish the score lines and concertina it, we need to adhere the 1 3/4 inch squares onto our panel, and I find it much easier if it's flat. So I'll just demonstrate one, and I've already adhesive on the back of these. So now we're ready to layer our DSP, and I've just put in pencil on the back which way up it should go and the number. So that's 1, 2, and these ones are for your sentiments. So next we're going to do a bit of stamping. I'm going to stamp this one in Grapefruit Grove. Change to this stamp. Happy birthday one. Now you're ready to glue these sentiments onto the panels. And you can fold these and burnish them now. So you want that to be tucked in and fold valley, mountain, valley, mountain. Okay, so you do the same for all four. Grab a bulldog clip and just clip those together, except for this piece at the bottom, just so that it makes it easier for you to handle. Next, take your 6-inch piece of DSP and on your grid paper line it up so that this is the center grid line is in the middle, so you can draw a pencil line right down the middle, rotate it and repeat. Okay. Then you want to glue, basically you want to find the center and glue these pieces to the DSP. Alright, so this is the piece that hasn't got any adhesive on. So let's do that. Find the center mark. I've put tear and tape all on the underside of this 6x6-inch DSP piece, and now I'm ready to pop it onto this Grapefruit Grove 6¼ by 6¼ base. So I'm going to just partially remove the backing tape and center the paper onto my cardstock before. So I think that's about the right position. And then I can remove the tape. We need to glue the handles on the top. So I'm just going to clamp this so that it's easier to work with. Okay, and basically you want to put the 2 strips you had, I'll just do it by eye, make sure that, actually I'll use my grid paper, that will help me line it up properly. So about there, okie doke. Generous amount of glue, press it down, find the center, say about there, take my handheld punch and punch a hole in the middle. Okay, so now we need to glue that on the inside. Center your hole in the middle. And just draw a pencil line here as to where, how far you need to glue. So just pop some glue on there. You do the opposite ones first. You've got your pencil lines there to help you. Make sure it's in the middle. Then just fold it over. Press. Hold it for a second while it bonds. Then do the two opposite corners. Okay. Rub off the pencil marks. Take your tulle ribbon, and you need about 12 inches. Take the circles that you punched a hole in. Let's adhere this to the other circle first. Then use your scoring tool to poke the ribbon through. That's better. Okay. And this, make sure it's not twisted. Poke the other one through. Right. And then you want those to be the same distance apart, or the ends even, so just pull that tight. I think that's about right, the loop. Poke it through this hole in here. And we can loosen this now, so we've got more room to work inside. Pull the ribbon through, and same with the other end. It's going to be a bit difficult for the camera to see what I'm doing here, but basically you want to secure the ribbon. So I've got 2 pieces of double-sided tape ready to tape that down. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay, remove the backing tape. And you want to trim off the excess tulle. And then put a dollop of glue on the back, on the other circle, on the back of the other circle, and then pop it in here on top and glue it together. Now there is an option for you to further decorate it on the underside to write a sentiment, but I haven't done it for this one because obviously that entails another stamp set. But if you want to, then this is part of the beautiful Promenade suite. So that's a stamp set, and there's a coordinating dies. So I hope you've enjoyed today's lantern card. If you did, then do give me a thumbs up. I'd be ever so grateful. If you haven't subscribed, then please subscribe. or share on Facebook, and my grateful thanks if you do. If you're watching from YouTube, you'll find the list of supplies I use below this video in the Show More section with direct links to my online store. They'll also be listed on my blog at blog.stampwithelaine.com. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye!